It's the Fellowship of the Geek Show, a weekly podcast about comics, the comic book industry, and other geek pop culture. Music courtesy of Manny the Martyr. And now, on with the show!
Hey there, everybody. It is the Fellowship of the Geeks podcast. My name is Thomas Chick, and joining me for this episode is Mike Marlowe.
Hey, gang.
Les Webster.
Hello, all.
And Liz Newman.
Hello, everybody.
How are y'all guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Delightful.
Yeah, welcome to the Ash Show. And none of y'all will get that joke because that was a pre-show joke. So.
I have a feeling that one might be
No, it's staying in. What are you talking about?
That'll be
No,
our
I
new
think she
call
means
sign.
the before part.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, you could. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Just for context, there you go.
Oh,
I
man.
hope everybody's doing okay out there. So what's been going on in your corner of the galaxy?
Oh, man. I haven't... I haven't really done a lot. To be honest, this movie we're about to get to took me about 20 tries of sitting down to watch all of it. So,
Oh, you loved it that much, huh? Awesome.
That took a while.
She watched it 20 times. That's awesome.
So
That's
I'll definitely
devotion.
get to those thoughts later. But no, Rings of Power just wrapped up, and I have not seen the finale yet. What did I do instead?
Rosebud.
There's something I watched instead, but
You don't remember, huh?
no,
No,
How much
she's
time did we
deferring.
spend talking?
I think she's
Well-
deferring.
no. I mean, there was other things I watched before for Friday night. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about it, huh? Friday we got together and we did watch the premiere of Halloween Ends, and yeah, I
Not
don't
that
know.
much, huh?
Yeah, I guess I'm a different kind of horror fan. I grew up in the 80s. I love the slasher, chase you down, kill you, the girl screaming the loudest is the first one to go. I like that kind of stuff, and I don't know. I didn't feel like I got that with this. I felt like I was promised a big kapow, and it was a pew. So, I don't know. I'm not going to shit on the film because I think a lot of people are doing that really good right now. But I will bring out the positives. I did like Corey. I kind of wished we would have met him sooner. You pointed out he was an afterthought, and I kind of felt that way too. I do believe that the guy's getting a lot of hate. I don't think you should be hating on him. It wasn't him. He acted the role absolutely beautifully. I'm going to go check him out on Hardy Boys now because I'd like to see what else he can do. But without too many spoilers, there's a shift in this kid. And he goes from like this broke down kid that you look at him and you can just tell he's broken. There's something really wrong with him. And they'll tell you in the first 5 minutes of the movie what's wrong with this kid. But after certain events start happening to him, you see the change. I mean, just the attitude, the way he carries himself, the way he looks. I mean, I just, hands down, it was great what he did. He definitely portrayed and made you feel what both these people were. So much so that
Pity.
Lori even picked up,
What, Mikey?
Pity he wasn't in the movie we watched last week.
Mm.
No.
That was a change too. It was
Yeah.
not as good.
No. No. Yeah, I thought that was, I liked that. I liked that. I did like the nods to the older films that they made. I thought that was pretty cool, but I felt like sometimes that was added to bring you back to, oh, this is a Michael story. This is why it's a Michael story. I don't know. Like I said, without totally making me sound like a psycho, I like serial killers.
Too late.
And,
Too late.
Too
Too late. Too late.
But I didn't get to see my guy. He's maybe in the film for a total of 5 minutes, and it was just disappointing.
Official time is 10 minutes 35 seconds
10 minutes and 35 seconds of an
of
hour.
a 111-minute movie.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm trying to say it without spoiling anything, because
Although by comparison, that's more time than he was in the original film, but the original film's a little bit shorter too. So, hey, take it for what.
The original film, we saw a lot of that film through his point of view. So we may not have been seeing him, but we were seeing his point of view of things. So, you knew who he was. I felt like in this one, we kind of wanted to forget who the hell they made him and forget who he was. They did my boy wrong. I was ready for a showdown, and I did not have a problem with him dying. That's not my beef here. But
spoiler.
Sorry. Everything we've seen him go through, that was just lame. That was just so lame, that was cold. I'll put it that way. I just felt like it would have taken more. And seeing that's the problem with these movies when you have like Batman versus Superman or Michael versus Laurie. It's going to be a letdown because it's never going to be the fight we want to see. The fight that we've had so built up in our head when she's finally said enough's enough, let's kill this guy. But she's been saying that for the last 3 films. So it's kind of like, what made her different this one than the last 2?
Well, and I've seen complaints about that where, and I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, go ahead.
But, for 40 years, this character is like, he's coming back. He's coming after me. I need to be prepared. And he does show up, and then there's all of this. And then now with this film, it's 4 years later. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about him. She's living her life. She's practically the only somewhat happy person in this whole fucking town.
Yeah.
Everybody else is shitting on her.
Which was weird.
Well,
she was the hero in the last one. Evil dies tonight.
Well, I mean, that's actually one of the things I liked about the film was they showed the trauma that the town has gone through. I mean, it opens up with a narrative, and I don't think this is really all that spoilery, is they talk about all these things that's been going on in Haddonfield since the events of the last film, of people mysteriously dying or people killing other people or themselves. And it's how these people are responding to the trauma of what has been going on. It's even and some are taking it out on Laurie and taking it out on Allison. And it doesn't make sense, but that's the way. But that's real life.
No, it's not. How many times do we see a woman almost brutally murdered and then turn around and start blaming her for all the shit going wrong in her life? That's that.
There's-
No,
there's-
that
there's a
that
lot-
doesn't
I
You'd
tell
be,
you,
apparently, you'd
There-
be
there-
surprised at how often that
There,
happens.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of women who've been sexually assaulted and say it's your fault because you dressed that way or you did something that made him do that. It happens all the goddamn time.
Right, but then to say that the same guy who, almost brutally murdered or raped this other woman is now your fault, how is it my fault? I've called the cops. I've tried to kill this guy I don't know how many times now. What more do you want me to fucking do? Die? Are you mad that I got dead? That's the part to me that was like, wow.
Well, it's
They're
not
blank-
necessarily
let
any
me-
rationality to it either. I mean,
Exactly.
that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly believable.
Let me use an example that just happened over the weekend. There's a very popular Twitch streamer. If you've seen anything, you probably saw this on social media.
Amaranth.
Amaranth.
Yes.
Amaranth. There you go.
She revealed that yes, she's married, and he's a psycho. He's threatened to kill her, threatened to kill her dogs, take all the money that she's basically made, and it's because of all the stuff that he's forcing her to do. And if you went to social media, you're seeing people complain. Why did she hide the fact that she was married? Or there were people more upset about giving her money and then finding out that she's married than the fact that her life is being threatened by a dude. That's the same mentality as the woman going, it's your fault that my sister's in this wheelchair and can never talk again because of Michael Myers. It's essentially the same mentality.
Yeah.
It's someone else's fault for someone being an evil person.
I can almost understand that if they would have kept the brother route. Whether he tried to kill her or not, if that was your brother, I could see them having that. But it wasn't just her. She's not the one who brought Michael to town.
She was the only survivor.
Well, and Allison and
well, I mean, if you're talking from the original movie, because we don't know, but I mean, her and then Allison.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way some people's mind work.
Yeah. I say that's sad. But I also had a problem with 4 and 5 when they're making fun of Jamie because her mom's dead, and it's like, what kind of fucked up kid do you have to be to pick on someone else because their mom's dead? And I just
Some
I don't
people are just some people are just assholes.
Yeah.
And we all don't think the same way. It just I understand you being upset and saying that's not right, but I'm just saying that's the real world.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Doesn't have to be right.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it any less real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so to me, that just kind of came out of the blue, though, because last film, she was the hero. The whole town was behind her. Half the town died, but...
Well, there you go.
And how long does it have to take for that to swing all the way around?
Yeah.
I promise
Literally
you, it
4
doesn't
years.
take long.
A second.
Yep.
It can happen in a tiny little bit of time.
This movie, it was 4 years.
Oh, I think it was there before then.
Yeah. I didn't like the whole victim blaming thing. That just to me was kind of like
it's just
so
how
misplaced.
it's just how some people handle things. It's easier to blame someone for something that happened than to say, you know what, shit happens. Unfortunately, it happened to you or your relative, but it happens.
Her first mistake was she apologized. That gives them more power because you're letting them believe they're right. And
to add a little bit more context to this, the scene just before that happens, Laurie is leaving the grocery store after having a conversation with Wilkins, the officer that in the previous film looked like there may be a possible relationship developing, which they don't really do until toward the end of this film. But she's leaving the grocery store after having that conversation, and it made her happy. She was smiling. and she smiled. So she got called out for smiling. Hey, how dare
you can't be a
you
victim and smile.
Because how dare you smile? Because my sister here is here in a wheelchair and can't talk anymore because of Michael Myers, and that's your goddamn fault that happened. That. I mean, that is it. And of course, she of course that affected her, obviously.
Yeah.
But it just, that's how some people handle things.
Yeah.
Right. It's not necessarily right, and it's not
No.
necessarily healthy.
And
But it does still happen.
And the fact that the film actually took time to kind of go over that, which I thought was interesting, the how the town responded to the trauma, because in most of these films they don't even think about that shit.
I don't.
But
But
you almost
it's kinda
die
like-
in this film, and in the next film, you're okay, but all of a sudden you're going to start going through it again. It's like, no, there's going to be scars there.
But
Not literally physical, but mental, emotional.
in
And that's
this
how some
movie,
people
though,
do it.
it didn't really matter how they felt. I know that sounds horrible, but it didn't.
It sounds horrible, but it kind of sounds like you. I mean, let's be real here.
The story wasn't supposed to be about that. I could understand in the last one, Halloween Kills, because the whole town got involved and everything else, but it was kind of like this. This wasn't happening to them. And matter of fact, this was kind of weird that it wasn't happening to them. It was happening to doctors and all these other people, but not the neighbors.
It couldn't happen in the last film because most of the people didn't know what the hell was going on until it actually
Until they saw
happened.
the
I mean,
aftermath. Right.
yeah.
But he kills most of that neighborhood.
He killed most of the town. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, in the last scene, but before they cornered him like that, he had killed most of the neighborhood.
He was literally going from Laurie's house to the Myers house.
Yep. House to house.
And killing whoever he could in the path. And let's not forget that he killed a number of people in Halloween 2018. So, kills, people are finding out, oh God, not only is he back, almost everybody's dead.
He's on steroids, man.
So how could they treat how could they treat the whole thing of people I don't know. I mean, I can't. I mean, you feel the way you feel. That's fine,
Yeah.
and it's the way I feel. I thought they handled it well.
Yeah.
I thought the whole thing with the trauma of the town, how they reacted. I thought they did that well. I liked the Corey story. Yeah. Adding a new character in a third chapter of a trilogy and focusing on him, that does not make sense. I totally agree with that. That being said, I like the story. I hate the fact that the main characters were sidelined.
Yeah.
They were. The battle that, let's face it, all the marketing, all the publicity, all the ads was like, this is it. This is what you've been wanting to see.
Yeah.
This is what you've been wanting to see. And it's literally the last 5 to 10 minutes of the film, and the fight's not even that long.
And I guess for me, when I watch a Halloween film, I want to watch Michael. That's what I want. That's the whole reason I turned on a Halloween film.
And
Michael's gonna be
that's the reason Halloween 3 has been shitted on until the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
And people are like, you know what? This is actually a pretty good story. It's not that bad of a movie.
It wasn't too bad, but for 40 years now, they have built the Halloween name on Michael Myers. If you have never seen a Halloween film, you know who Michael Myers is. So to say that he's not a part of that franchise would,
Oh, no one said that.
But I'm saying
there's
in this
precedent.
film, it almost
for it.
wasn't.
Yeah.
He was not the star of this show. And honestly, as much as I loved Corey, I don't give a fuck about Corey. I want to see Michael.
Well,
Why can't they make Michael do that stuff that Corey was doing?
Well, don't worry about that. With Malika Cod still owning everything, yeah, there's never going to be another Halloween film that doesn't include Myers. That means they're going to do the film is going to end with the stupidest shit of killing him. It's going to make any of the endings of Friday the 13th look like nothing.
Yeah.
And then have some dumbass excuse to bring him back in the next film.
Yep.
It's going to be even more cartoonish than Friday the 13th, and some of that is you're going
Bad.
okay, it's really bad. That's where we're going. That's where we're going to get, because people want Michael Myers. They don't necessarily want a good Halloween film.
Are we getting
But you know
to
what?
Hammer Dracula levels of cheesy, bringing him back to life stuff yet?
Oh, we could.
I would be fine if they didn't make a new movie. I have enough Michael Myers to where I was happy with the way things had ended, quote, quote, ended. That was fine. But this, like I said, I'm not asking for new Michael. But if you're going to make it,
We will.
make it Michael. I don't know
I'll-
how you can do that without him. It would be like Wolverine without Wolverine. I mean, you just
Well,
you can't do that.
well,
Unless-
no. I mean,
See, we're
no.
straying back towards the I don't want it to be this way, therefore it shouldn't exist thing
Well,
that we talked about the week or two
No,
ago.
but if you don't want it about Michael, then don't make it, because that's what it is.
Which is literally what I just said. You just
Right.
repeated what I said.
No,
You don't. It's not what you want, so you don't want it to exist. We talked shit about this a week or two ago.
Yes, no.
I don't get why you would make a movie and not make it about him.
Yes, you do. You know exactly why you would
Well,
do that. We've
Then-
talked
then
about that for
don't-
6
don't call
friggin'
it
years on this
Halloween,
show.
Call it Michael Myers.
Hey, you're
Well-
preaching to the choir here. I'm just
Oh, no,
pointing
yeah.
out
No,
where this is going. We're backing
just-
up into
See,
to an old rant, is what we're doing.
I meant that for Liz.
That's
Not
what I'm
necessarily Mike,
saying.
'cause I understand.
He's become synonymous with Halloween. When
There's
people are
precedent
talking
that
about
proves you wrong,
Halloween,
Liz.
People are going to
Yeah.
talk. There's one movie that proves me wrong. All of the other movies have been about Michael.
Really?
Which one other than this last one and the third one?
It
didn't
seemed to me
include
like 4
Michael?
didn't have a hell of a lot to do with Michael either, even though he might have been in it.
I mean, he was in it,
Yeah, he was
So-
not the main character.
but more 85% of these movies, like I said, most time when people think Halloween.
Oh, now we're getting into percentages.
All right, when you talk about Nightmare on Elm Street, are you talking about, Jason? Or are you going to talk about Freddy? They're synonymous. When you're talking about them.
Well, there was a
it-
Freddy versus
they're-
Jason movie, so that's not fair.
Right, but you know what I'm saying. That, and when people saw it was versus Jason, they knew it was Friday the 13th. They didn't have to tell them, oh, this is Friday the 13th, Jason. No. Because when you hear Friday the 13th, you know it's Jason. When you hear Nightmare on Elm Street, you know it's Freddy. When you hear Halloween, you know it's Michael.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not necessarily. My point is that that's not necessarily what was intended by the filmmakers.
but that's what happened.
That's
What's making them money.
See,
so they
this
need
is
to
where
stick-
we're getting into shaky ground here too.
Yeah.
We're
But-
getting into you
technically
arguing
there
the
was-
same thing that you've argued against in the past. That is my point.
I'm just saying they can't get
technically
upset
there was
that
a-
they made a Halloween people and people wanted Michael Myers in it. That's all I'm saying.
They're not the ones that are upset because they made a shitload of money.
Right. Well,
They
yes,
don't care.
The director's all over the internet crying. People just didn't understand. No, we understood it. You gave us a Halloween
right.
story.
But you understood
without
what you wanted, not what he intended.
Okay. But I'm just saying, he is complaining right now that we didn't understand his artistic vision and that kind of thing. And I'm sorry, if you have to explain to me what your vision is, I'm Grant Morrison, I don't want to know what it is. You've done went over my head and your average viewer, and I'm not your average Michael Myers fan. I do know a little bit more about him than your average viewer. But yeah, I just, no, I want him to forget this one and give me a new third movie. Try again.
No, they're going different paths. So this trilogy is done. Blumhouse is done. Universal is done. It's going to be a different path now. And actually, the scuttlebutt I'm hearing is Danielle Harris has approached Malika Akkad with an idea of doing a direct sequel to Halloween 4, which I'm going, oh crap. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's going to be more Halloween films, especially since we are 6 years away from the 50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
You know damn well something's going to happen then. Now, what happens between now and then, who knows? Maybe this idea with Danielle, I don't know. But and go back, and if you want to get technical, I'll go back to something you said a while ago with Friday the 13th and Jason. New beginning. That's not Jason. It's a copycat killer.
Pretending to be who? Freddy?
Well, Corey was pretending to be Michael. He took the mask.
Mm.
It's literally the same thing.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't like this one. As a Michael fan, I thought they did my boy wrong. And I didn't have a problem with him killing him. I didn't. That happens to all the greats. I just thought it was a low blow how they did it.
I did have issues with the film. I'm not crapping on it like everybody else is. I thought there was some the fact that they tried to do something different. God bless them for doing that. Now, granted, do you want to do that on the third chapter of a trilogy? Probably not. That's
No.
that you're supposed to be winding things up. If this had been the second movie, Last Jedi, okay, take some risks and then go from there. But
And give us our finale.
yeah. So I liked the Corey story. I've already said that several times.
Mhm.
I
did
liked the
too.
whole thing, the thing of the trauma. I liked that. There were some nice things. I liked how, for the most part, Laurie was handled. Laurie was acting like, up until she realized what was going on with Corey, she was acting like the Laurie in '78 before all the shit happened. She was making pumpkin pie. She made jack-o'-lanterns. She decorated the house for Halloween. She was living a life. She seemed to be okay, which I know some people had concerns about that after 40 years of going, he's going to come back, I got to be prepared. All that shit happens, and then 4 years later, she's all over it. I can understand there being some questions about that, but I like seeing Laurie a little bit seeming to enjoy life. That was nice. That was nice to see.
Yeah.
But that's me. I'm crazy. So, Michael Myers fans, don't worry. There's going to be a Michael Myers in every Halloween film until hell freezes over. So don't worry about it. Something like this will never happen again as long as Malika Akkad or anyone else related to him is going to be owning these rights. So, so be happy about that.
Yeah.
Now you may get another Busta Rhymes versus Michael Myers sequence. I hope you're going to be happy with that. If you're happy with that bullshit, then hey, that's great.
No, I didn't say I was happy with crap. I'm just saying if you're going to make crap, don't put it out. That's all I said.
Oh, every freaking franchise has crap.
Of course they do. Yeah.
Yeah, crap's
Like I
going to
said,
come out.
And I think why I was so disappointed was not necessarily because this is a Halloween film. This is also a Blumhouse film. And so the whole movie, I'm sitting there going, where's the twist? Where's the twist? He's so known for that twist that almost at the end will turn you around and be like, you thought you knew, ha.
Sounds like the whole movie was a twist.
Well, I think the
Pretty
twist was
much.
Michael wasn't in it. That was the twist. But I didn't really get that twist that he's known for either. I don't know if Michael coming back for his mask was supposed to be the twist, or if I just missed it. But normally with Blumhouse, you don't miss the twist. You definitely are, whoa, and I didn't have that whoa moment, you know. So I don't know.
The more I hear y'all talk about this, the more I'm thinking that it sounds like that this was season 6 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer all over again.
You know what? That's kind of a fair comparison. You know, I think that's
the end of the story was not the end of the battle; it was the aftermath.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was the pieces that are left behind, the friends we made along the way, if you will.
Mm.
I just wish it would have been more about them too. That was the movie I was looking forward to.
If it had been what the original idea was, none of this would have happened. But you know, people still would have complained. I mean, people would go, I
love the last movie they tore apart and complained about. You know. But I think that's what happened here is they got the fans in their head and they were like, oh, they said he was too brutal. Well, we won't make him kill anybody then. What?
Well, you know, people said this is not a horror film, that it's a drama film. I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, do y'all really need to go back and watch the original film? I mean, how much of that movie where there was no violence? Not much happened through a lot of it. It was all talking.
Yeah, but see, the Halloween franchise just isn't the first movie, though. It's all of it, and through, you know, maybe not in the first one, but he's racked up a body count. You know, he's not known to go, oh, I'll skip this guy, unless it's a kid. But you know it. So I'm not saying that he has to be the same guy from the first movie. That's not what made me fall in love with Michael. It's all these other years of slashing and dashing and.
Well, you had to have the first one, otherwise you wouldn't have the others.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
Absolutely. So
you're kind of going, okay, never mind.
Yeah, we're
What were you
at
gonna
the
say,
point
Mike?
we're at the point where we're starting to repeat ourselves a lot.
Right. Well, I
Okay.
feel like I'm kind of being hated on because I like Michael and wanted him in this movie.
I don't think I'm hating on you because it's Michael. I'm just saying I hate the fact that there's so much hate of this. I understand some of it, but it's like there's a story here. We actually have a story in a horror film. What a novel fucking concept. And people hate it. It's like, okay, you know, why even sit down and write a script? Let's just go, okay, this guy shows up, kills this person. Let's do it. It's that's the stuff I've kind of complained about before, but yeah, Mike's right. We do need to move on. We're not going to solve this tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you're getting the I'm hating on you that because Michael's on the film.
No, I think she's referring to me.
No, I'm just saying just all of it. I feel like I'm not allowed to not like this movie.
You are entirely not allowed to not like this movie. You are not allowed to wish this movie out of existence.
But I am. But I'm just, for me, the kind of horror fan I am, it didn't check the boxes for me.
Fair enough.
I mean that's fine. You're everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Absolutely.
The thing that frustrates me.
Please have a different opinion.
Yes, the thing that frustrates me is reading some of these comments and the people who think that Resurrection or The Curse of Michael Myers or Revenge of Michael Myers are better films than this. I'm going, obviously I have watched different films than y'all did.
Yeah.
Because you talk about the insult and the crapping on the character of Michael. Did you not watch Halloween 5? He's especially Halloween 6 because he's being acted like a puppet for this cult.
He is.
And you're going, that's okay? Okay, that's fine. I mean, go ahead. I got to shut up. Let's go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish I had something to follow that with, but my week was very much tied up with other stuff, so I didn't really do anything fun at all.
Except for watch tonight's movie.
Kind of no, I didn't. One, I didn't do that last week, and two, we'll get into that. But yeah, I got a big bag of nothing this week. Sorry.
That's okay. I think we took up enough time for everybody's. So
probably. Hopefully, Les didn't have nothing either.
Yeah.
I'm not going to add to anything. So.
Smart man. Stay out of it.
Well, I mean, let's go ahead and get into this. We're continuing Horror Month, and this year's focus is on Scarecrow films. And today's movie we are discussing is the 2003 direct-to-video, and yes, it shows, Scarecrow Slayer, which is a quote-unquote sequel to the film that we discussed last week, Scarecrow. Okay, I didn't get that, but I'm not sure exactly how that was a sequel other than the fact that it's a scarecrow, but, okay. Maybe I missed something.
It was the logo.
Just, okay.
I don't know. And the mask, somewhat.
Well, I kept waiting for the Scarecrow Slayer to pop out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first thing. It's Scarecrow Slayer, and there's absolutely no Scarecrow Slayer in the film.
Mm-mm. No.
I disagree.
Okay.
I saw a Scarecrow Slayer, and it was a scarecrow slaying another scarecrow. Right?
And then eating a rocket launcher.
And eating a rocket launcher that no one else could figure out how to fire.
Right.
Amazing.
Oh, please get me laughing about this movie.
Okay, let me see.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
First 30 minutes of the movie, I know I was like, what the fuck, Candyman? This has to be the worst Tony Todd movie ever. And
you want to talk about people doing things for a buck?
Yeah.
Tony Todd is a fine actor.
He is.
But he will do anything.
And he played a crazy guy perfect.
I wouldn't say perfectly, but he did a nice job.
And his Shatner speech in 1942, I decided to write a book. Oh no.
Oh yes, please let's get into this. The fact that he wrote a book about dealing with the scarecrow and all that, and it's a bestseller, and he's doing lectures. I'm going, what in the fuck is going on here? Plus the fact that he's doing an interview with a TV reporter is how this movie opens up.
In a dilapidated house.
And I'm going, what am I watching here? Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. And the opening,
best-selling book. Okay, yeah, about him chasing a scarecrow. Okay, that makes perfect sense.
And the way it kept switching points of view from the camera to the other camera, it was like, oh god. But it's kind of one of those qualities of movie. You know when you're flipping through channels and you see that a soap opera's on, and you always know it's a soap opera because it's just not as good quality as everything else. That was this movie. It had the soap opera film quality to it, just very bad.
And then help me out, guys. These guys that are trying to get the scarecrow as part of their initiation, was it an ROTC they were trying to get in, or was it just a fraternity?
It was a fraternity. A military fraternity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go down the list here.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Les has a
He's
list.
got a
Yes,
list.
has a list.
Okay,
Yeah.
there is no background to the story of the Scarecrow. The Scarecrow comes to life. He kills Tony's brother, or Tony's father.
Probably.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And that's at the first of the movie.
That's before the credits, yeah.
And there's no reasoning behind the animation of the Scarecrow, much less the reason that he's killing people. Now, from this, we go to probably, well, let's just say them. We're introduced to the first of several annoying people.
Oh, yes.
Judy, the annoying girlfriend. She just makes you want to cringe. When the boys get to the site and their quote brothers are contacting them, they go, "Yes, we see the Scarecrow." And one of the guys, after they get to the property, says, "What's that?" "Oh, I think it's a shredder." I'm going, okay, plot point. Make sure we understand there's a shredder on the property.
Yeah.
That will come in handy at some point, yes.
Hear, hear. Now, when the boys are attempting to get on the property, David is told that he has training for, MMA or something. Oh, well, that's later this week. I'm not worried about that. I'm going, plot point 2, right there.
Yeah.
He's going to fight.
He's got all kinds of black belts and stuff.
Tony's character says, I love spiders. I watched this movie twice, and after both times he said, I love spiders, I was hoping he would start singing "And Snakes," but that's not what it takes to make me love you.
First of all, I want to applaud you for actually watching this movie twice.
You are my hero for
Yes.
watching this movie more than once. I'm just saying.
I couldn't hardly get through once.
Well, I'm going to recommend you do the same thing on the next movie.
It's somebody else's
No.
turn. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Sure.
Your turn to watch it twice. I ain't watching it at all.
Caleb. Caleb is Tony's character. At one point, they hear a noise during the interview, and Caleb tells the interviewer to be quiet and to stay there, and he stares into the camera, and I don't know exactly what he said. All I know is he put his hand up and he said, "Enter." I don't know what the rest of the phrase was.
He said the interview's over.
Interview's
That's what
over.
he
Yep.
Interview's over. Okay. That
He
makes
said
a
twice.
lot more sense than say, "Enter, you demon." or
Enter the
whatever.
dragon.
And I'm sorry, once crazy guy drinking alcohol pulls out a gun, I'm out of there. Interview over then.
Appreciate the thought. Yeah, because it was during this time that she turned her light around to see that there were postings about Scarecrow murders.
Yeah.
You're going, what the hell are you doing? Go run. Get out of there. ASAP.
Her first clue should have been a guy wants me to come to a deserted farm in a dilapidated house in the middle of the night and do an interview with him. No. No.
Okay, there's
How many
something
red
else.
flags was that?
Well, there's something else. Well, then she attempts to leave, and she runs into one of the girls who is screaming her head off because the Scarecrow is loose. The boys have let the Scarecrow off its posting because that's where Caleb put him, and he said we're all safe when he's there. Nobody pays attention. I'm sure he has said that in his books.
Yeah.
But people just go, "Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Davy." And
Or what if they do know? What if they want to live forever as a scarecrow? I know if I was about to die and only had 5 minutes left to live, let me die in front of a scarecrow. I mean, right?
You're a dark young lady. You know that, don't you?
I didn't get that part of it, though. You know, the dark
Okay.
lady part.
So Caleb comes out and he fires his gun and he shoots David, who is lying beneath the scarecrow. Caleb is thinking he's shooting the scarecrow, which he's tried before.
Right. He
And
knows
found
damn
that
well
it
that
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
work.
But he's
Yeah.
heavy.
But he is inebriated, so, you know,
True.
Well,
Thinking-
that
thinking-
proves
thinking maybe
Also,
I keep
plot
trying to tell
point.
these people, fire.
Yeah.
What kills hay? Fire.
And another point is this is a shitty written script, so there you go.
now David is dead. Caleb is wacky. Carl gets hit by the scarecrow and is tossed aside. Judy is fainted. Mary,
Judy got hit by the car, remember?
Yeah.
no, it was Mary that got hit by the car.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
It was hard to tell. It was the picture quality was pretty friggin' terrible.
Pretty bad.
Well, the only reason I know that is there was a brunette driving the car. There was a brunette hit by the car, and Judy is
Judy's
blonde.
blonde. I'm not sure I'm going to trust the continuity folks on this movie all that far, but okay.
Yeah.
Continuity is horrible in this movie
Yeah.
because you're going, oh, okay, now the police are called, and I understand that. They get there, and they round up everybody for both questioning and ambulance rides. So everybody's rushed to the ambulance or to the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
except Carl.
Yeah.
Carl
Carl's
is
left
still
there.
around.
Mm-hmm.
Carl is alive. He is
Safe with his tin black
aware
belt.
of where he is. He sees that the scarecrow is his best buddy, David. Now, Mary saw this also when she looked into Scarecrow's eye holes and said, David. And David lumbers away. So why wasn't Carl picked up by the police and said, you're coming with us?
No more room.
Yeah, cops are too trusting in these horror movies, man. You can have blood
They're
from
too
head
stupid.
to toe, and they're like,
I don't-
stay right here. We'll be right back to
Yeah.
help you.
Yeah, don't leave. We want to arrest you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right here.
Right here.
and, the
In
co-
your police station with all these guns.
And
Too
the-
much.
and the cop in this movie was every single possible terrible cop cliche wrapped into one.
Oh, God.
Yes. Yes. You had a hospital. They pull up at the hospital, and it looks like a converted Motel 6.
It does.
At this hospital, they have a doctor and a nurse, and that's about it.
Well,
The only other person that appears in the hospital that works in the hospital was an attendant that is running down the hallway at one time. That's it.
that seems to be the trend in horror films. If it's a hospital, it's going to be a big ass building that has like 4 people running it at night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See Halloween 2, 1981.
exactly.
See Halloween 3. It was the same deal.
Halloween 3 too. Yeah, correct.
Now, during the time when the boys were talking to their, quote, brothers, you had another person introduced who was annoying as hell, and that is Sheila, the dimwit.
The other fake blonde in this movie.
So now you have, what, 4 or 5 annoying people. You've got Judy. Sheila, the doctor at the hospital, the nurse at the hospital, Nurse Mandy at the hospital.
I literally, when I watched this, I had no idea these people had names.
Yeah, amazingly, yes.
That's what you get when you watch it twice. You actually learn some of the names.
Yeah, because I don't think they were named in the credits either.
They were, though.
Okay?
Yeah,
I
they were
was so far
named as
gone by
Nurse
then.
Nancy.
Where was
Did you
Sluggo?
go? I'm sorry?
Where was Sluggo?
He was back at the farm.
Okay.
He's
Nancy
who I
Sluggo.
bring up next.
Okay, Nancy and Sluggo. So, I mean.
The use of the mice. What the hell is why are you showing mice at the Scarecrow? Scarecrow is handling mice. You go, for what purpose? Because they made his straw be their nest? What? Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, you
Well, I
remember that Mary escaped the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought for sure they were going to have a scene where she was running down the hallway, still hitting that call button, because she just was frantic, and I thought it would be funny to have her rip that cord out and keep running, pushing a button. You had the nurse and the doctor make arrangements to meet together at 2:30. You're going, wow, I can't wait till you get killed. Mary runs away and she calls her former boyfriend Gavin. Gavin is at the military complex of the campus, and his girlfriend, Sheila, who is annoying as hell, but fun, she's one of the funnier parts of the movie, was giving clothes to Mary. Mary is changing, and Sheila says, and that's how I learned to French kiss. I went, what the fuck are you talking about? What made you decide that someone wanted to know this information? And while she's in the car, Mary goes, oh my God, we have to go get Judy. You forgot our friend was back at the hospital?
Yeah.
This also brings up the bedside manner of the doctor. Because when she's looking over at her friend, the doctor says, is she alive? Good point, buddy. Right there.
You're the doctor.
Right, you tell me, dude.
Yeah, that's why we brought her here.
That's what you get paid for, dude.
I'm thinking, you're disbarred. That's all there is to it. Just go away.
They could have did that at home.
Okay, now, on another turn, we've got the cop that's already been told to be a total a-hole, and his pregnant wife, who's pregnant for 7 months. He's in bed with, what was her name? Because she answered the phone, this is Tori or whatever, who are you? And she hands the phone to the cop. Now, the funny thing is, she's reaching for the phone before it fucking rings. I'm going, are you imagining this happening?
The force is strong with her.
Oh, it is.
Can I take a second?
Yes,
and,
please
and
do.
just
I'll get a drink of water. Go ahead.
No. I just want to say that I'm loving the fact that you just taken over this, and it's great. I love it.
Now, I apologize.
No, please don't. He's
I
serious, and we all agree.
It's we're having fun.
This is
Go
awesome.
ahead.
This is way more fun than I had watching this fucking movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Please
Okay,
continue.
so we're back at the hospital. The cops are there. Carl is talking to Rachel, Officer Rachel, and Mary is talking with Officer Asshole. And
Richard Head.
And which reminds me of his bedside manner, that he doesn't believe anything, and for effect, he slams his hand down on the table, which is the only frightening part of the whole goddamn movie. But Mary escapes when she's locked in the room. She escapes via the air conditioning system. She's crawling through the ducts in a heavy coat, which is about her size, which struck me as odd because I think Tony Todd is a hell of a lot bigger than she is.
Quite a bit, yes.
I'm sorry?
Quite a bit, yes.
Okay. But Carl, remember, said, here, put this on when they're in Caleb's hut.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And she puts it on. I'm going, that fits you about right. What the hell's going on? Unless he's harboring small people in his home, too.
Fits her a whole lot better than the clothes that Sheila brought her, which were
yeah.
very, very skimpy.
Yeah, and she was bragging about how much that shirt cost. And I'm going, $48? What the hell are you paying? $48 for a T-shirt that says Hottie on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not even a whole T-shirt.
No.
But yeah.
It's what, a crop top or something. But
Just in case she forgot.
yeah. So Sheila gets in to see Judy. And Judy, of course, is out of her frickin' mind. And Mary wants to get her out of there. She starts pulling wires and plugs and everything, and tells the doctor he should go too. He's about to stab her with a needle, and he is attacked by the Scarecrow. Dun dun dun.
Mm.
And she gets Judy out and rolls her down the hallway and doesn't see anything. Does not see the doctor attacked. Doesn't see him killed. Nothing. And the Scarecrow is gone. So the Scarecrow has obviously killed the doctor, scooped his body, and run down the hallway.
Yes.
Which is possible because later in the movie he shows exactly what his problem or his
Cause of death.
Yeah. Now, she doesn't make it out with Judy, which I thought was kind of funny because she's dangling there with a rope around her neck, which is also entwined in her hair. And I'm going, okay, make her hang by her own hair. But they get out, they being Mary and Carl. They get to a car, and they're going to leave this town forever. Dun, dun, dun. But again...
The car they stole, by the way, from Caleb.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, the Scarecrow's on top of the car. He is found to be there. She runs him over. Okay? And Carl says, you ran over my friend, and goes to hold him, and it comes to life. Now, this is where to me, it was CGI, because it did not look like Carl was holding anything, and the body was there. But the car positioning again is stupid because she backed up to hit the Scarecrow, ran over him, split him in two. Carl went over, said, you killed my buddy. The Scarecrow comes to life. Carl gets away happily with Mary's help because he was a freaking idiot. They get into the car, but where's the car? It's not down the road where they hit him. It's back at the building. I'm going, Didn't you just hit the car? You didn't back up. You did nothing. You backed up to hit the Scarecrow.
And then apparently
after
drove it
that,
carefully back to the hospital to park it very carefully back where it was before. Yeah.
So you're going, you got to be freaking kidding me. What the hell are you people playing? So they go to the fraternity because the fraternity are filled with Marines. Not really Marines. They're almost Marines.
Training.
They're training. And I'm going, wow. And this is one of the, you talk about the house being run down. This is the crappiest fraternity building I have ever seen.
It's true.
In Gavin's room, paint is peeling off the walls. I'm going, how could you live like this? Who would let you live like this? Oh, I guess the dean and the chapter president has called him several times, so. But
They didn't have money to spend on building sets.
isn't that the truth?
So they just made them out of cardboard.
And at this time, you meet the fraternity Lothario that tells the girl, come on to my room. What's so great about Gavin? And you go, you're going to die. You know that, don't you? Have you not read the script? You're going to die, bud. She gets chided for bringing the monster there. She believes that the monster is following her. And Gavin, in all his infinite wisdom, says, thanks a lot.
He was the one who earlier in the movie said, oh, yeah, we're total badasses up in here.
That's right.
She believed him.
That's right.
That was the problem.
We'll kick his ass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the Scarecrow is in the building. It's starting to kill people. And Gavin says, okay, you guys go out the window and I'll hold the door and we'll go downstairs to get the Bumblebee to destroy the creature. And Sheila, in her wisdom, said, oh, attack him with a bee? Is he allergic?
Sorry.
You go, really? Here, don't stand too close to the window, dear. I'll hear the air whistle through your head.
Seriously,
Might give her some more IQ points.
seriously, she is probably the best written character in this whole movie.
Yep.
Which says a lot.
And then he's pulling out guns, and one of the ladies talks about this gun, and he says, don't ever underestimate a Glock, and gives you the description of what a Glock does. I'm going, really? This is not the time. Get the hell out of there.
You had to mansplain it.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So he goes down the door to wake the boys up, saying, Code 3, let's go. And he knocks on the Lothario's door and says, Code 3, and then he knocks on the door. He pounds on the door. And you're going, okay, the guy was there, but when he opens the door, the Lothario is getting split in half from the crotch up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going, pleasant. Thank you.
Boy, did that look realistic, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, such
They couldn't
definition.
afford the stunt guys, you know.
They
So-
apparently couldn't afford CG either because, man, it was bad.
Yeah. So Gavin tells him to go out the window, and he's going to board the door. He grabs a table and a chair to board the door. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Problem I do have, no one decided to lock the door. Because as he's there, he's pushing against the door, and the door is opening a bit. Why did you not fucking lock the door? Now comes one of the great lines. Carl is telling Mary that David is in the creature and he will not harm her because, quote, obsession can be very romantic. Really? That's what you get from this?
That's like this. That's a stalker, isn't it?
Now, the Marines are going to save the day. There are what, 4 left? No, 3 left. 3 left. So 2 of them go downstairs and get wire, a mesh wire, to throw down on the ground. They're going to hook it to cable and plug the cable in and electrify the Scarecrow.
At this point, you got to give the writers credit for having seen the thing from another world.
I think so. But the Scarecrow didn't watch that movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to give them credit for actually pulling this off, by the way. Just that they saw the movie.
The Scarecrow is lumbering down the hallway. Gavin turns to it and says, come on over here, come get us. And David, as the Scarecrow, comes to them. But not only does he come to them, he does flips to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
He does hand over feet flips. And I looked at this and I went, Jim Cotta. What a great way to bring up that movie. And for those that don't know, Jim Cotta was a movie that starred Bart Connor, a U.S. gymnast who won a gold medal in the Olympics. He did that movie, Jim Cotta, and thank God it wasn't this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The Scarecrow lands on the grid. They plug it in. Gavin's buddy is electrified. He's electrocuted. I don't know why, but he was foaming at the mouth while being electrocuted. But he did. So you get Gavin, you get the policeman, you've got Mary. They all escape. Now, just before they do, Gavin's girlfriend, Sheila, the dimwit, comes back, sees Gavin and Mary kissing and says, I'm just gone for 5 minutes. And that's when she dies, when Scarecrow jumps from the 2nd story and lands on her. Squashed like a bug.
Uh-huh. Sort of.
So the 3 survivors jump in a truck and they decide to drive away.
But why?
No.
Yeah,
Gavin,
this is not the end.
Gavin did not make it. That's right. Gavin, he was killed.
Right.
But the policeman, Carl, and Mary drive away. The Scarecrow comes out and looks down the road as they're speeding away, and he did the typical move. He looked to his right and thought, I'll go this way. What?
Exit
lost
stage right.
I know he's a gymnast by trade, but he's able to cover that much ground. And later in the movie, those 3 are split up, and the policeman goes down the road, and he finds somebody looting a car. But before he does this, he's walking along, talking on the radio to dispatch, who is the only other, I think, police voice you hear in this movie. and he says he's confessing to his wife. He loves her. He's always loved her. They'll make it work. And he just was saying, be sure she knows that. And you're going, okay, he's dead. There's a sure thing right there. Carl wants to go back to the farm, and he picks up both Mary and the policeman. No, wait, let me back up. No, the policeman dies at the roadside, does he not?
Yes, he does.
Yep.
Right after
So
he
couldn't,
calls in
he
that
couldn't
loves
get
his
into
wife.
the truck with the others.
Right,
obviously.
not again, anyway.
No, you would hope. There is an against situation in this movie, but not at that time.
Right, not this one.
And he is sliced in half, and I'm going, now that's funny. This is funny stuff. Because he's been an a-hole the whole time, too. And it's just gone. Okay. Sliced right at the belt. Which is kind of funny because that's what they were zooming in on was his belt. And if you didn't notice, it was being sliced in half. But it's such a quick shot, no pun intended.
Ooh.
So Carl's in the vehicle. He picks up Mary, and they're driving along, and she finds that David, the Scarecrow, is in the back seat. You're going, really? This guy knows how to thumb a ride? What the hell's going on here? They drive to the farm. Mary awakens, and she is tied to a staff. She's going to be killed, obviously. And the whole thought process is David the Scarecrow is trying to make a scarecrow for her where they can live together forever.
Mm-hmm.
Going,
How romantic.
right. Obsession can be very romantic. Just remember that.
And have we mentioned they've only been dating for 4 months?
Yes, 4 months.
4 months. And he's ready to kill her and make a scarecrow out of her.
6 days, 18 hours, something like that, yeah. Now, they get to the farm. She's being tied up. The scarecrow is making a second scarecrow for her. That way they can roam about. They can have picnics. They can have long walks along the beach.
As long as they don't
like
use
that.
straw baskets for the picnics, because that would be very tacky.
Oh, that's like a pig eating pork. I mean, that's just bad.
Our baby!
So they've seen Bride of Frankenstein too. Okay, we're there. We're caught up now.
I was thinking more of Bride of Chucky. But,
Well, that too.
And David had left Carl at the roadside. He did not want David. He wanted Mary with him. Carl was saying, take me. I'm going, what the hell? What are you talking about? It comes out in a little bit. David shows up at the farm with the rocket launcher. Going, oh yeah, that thing that the Marines misfired on? Yeah, that's something you want to carry with you.
Yeah.
So,
the Marines did it so well.
So he walks up and he tells David that I've always been your friend. I've always been there. And this, that, and the other. And you go, okay, is this where we're getting into the gay part of the movie? Because I was really thinking that Carl was going, I'm hot for you.
The Scarecrow said, I love you, but not like that.
No.
Go back to your karate class.
So, yeah. So, David kills Carl. Carl is then absorbed by the second scarecrow that David was making for Mary. And this brings about the battle royal.
Slayer.
Yeah, and in this corner type deal. So off
One
they
of them
went.
was not enough in this movie.
Now, at this time, Mary is going, no, David, no, Carl. And she unties herself. I don't know how, but she gets her left hand loose
Apparently.
and she swings it away.
Apparently, straw fingers makes it really hard to tie a knot. I don't know.
They don't know a slip knot from a shepherd's shank or
Oh,
something.
wait, are we talking Slayer or are we talking Slipknot here? Come on.
We
We got to keep our metal bands straight here.
Well, Slipknot's a band. I know that. And then the action returns with the kickboxing and all that stuff. And they go back to Mary, and my God, she gets untied again.
Mm-hmm.
She all of a sudden slips her left wrist out of the tie-up, and I'm going, what the hell? She was already free. So Carl, the second Scarecrow, gets fed into the shredder. See how they work that back?
It all comes around, baby. It all
It's
comes around.
amazing.
And we ain't talking Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
We were wondering there for a little bit, but nope, not Ninja Turtles after all.
No. Maybe Shredder
That's
was
true.
one of the mice that he was holding earlier in the movie, but there's no guarantee of that.
Cost too much.
Also, copyright issues.
Yeah.
And toward the end, Mary takes a pitchfork, tries to force David into the shredder. Doesn't happen. She finds the rocket launcher, and here is David chasing or running at her with two sickles. He leaps. She fires. It hits him. Boom. Explosion. And you have raining of
Little bits of straw
Straw.
raining down.
magical straw.
Hmm.
Let's remember that. This is magical straw because it caused all the interference on TV, radio, communications, and it was magical in that it was what caused the souls to be accepted by the scarecrows, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And as she blows him away, Kingdom Come is come and gone. She looks at it as it falls, the straw falls upon her, and smiles and has a tear in her eye. And that's the end of the movie.
And she turns and walks away. Perfectly normal, which is weird
Perfectly
given that
normal.
her ankle has been broken for an hour of this movie.
Right.
But anyway,
No,
And
because there's a part 3, guys.
yes, there is a part 3. But
Who do you want to bet
we're
the
not fucking
Scarecrow
watching
is?
it either.
Taking bets.
but I'm happy to say that's what I got from this movie.
Oh, you got it.
Total bullshit.
You got it.
And I could see why this was direct to video. Because
No distribution company would ever pick this up.
Yeah.
I would say it could go on TV without any problem because there wasn't that much language in it.
Yeah.
Any of the blood was cartoony as hell.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when one of them dies, I guess it was Gavin, that he's lying there and he's got red Twizzlers across his face and they're shaking. Like, I'm going, really?
Well, and there's the one guy who just died from behind a door because why not? And the
Right.
scarecrow just pushes the door, and then there's this huge splatter of blood-like substance, whatever the hell they were using that night, on the wall. I'm like, that was fun. I guess that guy's dead now. I don't know. I don't know what really did that. cardboard door couldn't kill anybody.
So for me, the only people that lived through this was Rachel, the officer, because she was rushed to the hospital and gave birth to a baby girl who was named
Wicker.
Audrey Cyan or something like that. I know Cyan was the middle name.
Christine.
I'm sorry?
Christine.
Don't listen to him.
He's trying to bait me.
He is trying.
There was also Mary. Mary escaped, which I don't know if the straw hitting her made her into a zombie or whatever.
Oh, don't give him ideas.
It did the last girl. Remember, she was all high and everything after killing her scarecrow
Who?
Oh, in the first movie.
in the first movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Apparently absorbing the power of the scarecrow makes you high.
The only person I did not see leave. Okay, I saw the hospital worker run out, but
Smartest person in the movie, right there.
yeah.
Damning with faint praise.
The only other person was Nurse Mandy. I did not see her after her scenes coming upon the cut up form of Caleb, which I thought was funny when the guys there take pictures of it and the arm falls. I said, "Oh, that's funny." Do you recall that?
Yeah.
He's just, and all of a sudden the shackled hand just falls, and you go, "Okay, that's pretty good."
Mm-hmm.
But
I think
the only thing is,
Nurse Mandy is still waiting for that doctor at wherever they were supposed to meet after work. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
it could be that, or that may have been her blood on the wall in the room where Judy was, the scarecrow picture on the wall. I don't know,
Maybe. Who knows?
but that's about it for me.
I just want to say thank you, Les.
Yes.
Yes.
You made this tolerable.
Well, when I was in college, there was a television program out of Tulsa, and it was one of those programs that you had horror movies, and the host was a character named Dr. Mazeppa Papazoide, and his, Dr. Mazeppa Papazoide and his Funhouse or something like that. And that was played by Gaylord Sartain, who is a noted actor now. He's been in many, many movies. And one of his buddies on the TV show was an actor, Gary. Give me a name. He played Buddy Holly in the Buddy Holly story. He was in
Gary Busey?
Oh,
Thank you, Gary Busey. That's it.
Really? Okay.
One of his buddies that would appear on the show was Gary Busey. So when we were watching this program, we sat around with paper and started writing comments down, just like I had done here. And it's so fun. This was long before MST3K, which is superb at it. But we would do the exact same thing and going, why not lock the door? The monster's coming. Lock the door. Lock it? Yes. Lock it first. So
Yes.
you just become aware.
Damn.
Things like, keep your panties on. I'm running in mud here. What? Thank you, Judy. Great line.
Oh, man. Oh. My wife asked me, we're sitting there at dinner time, sitting at the table this evening, and she asked me what we were talking about tonight. And so I started telling her. I didn't go into any detail, but I told her about this movie, and she said, I was telling her kind of how bad it was, and she's like, well, what would you rate it out of 10? And I laughed, and I laughed. I said I wouldn't. I'm still trying to pretend it doesn't exist.
Good point. Good point.
Oh, man.
So, Les, what's your thoughts about this film?
Well, let's start at the first. The Scarecrow was ninja-like, no doubt about it. I mean, he even appeared in the first scenes when Caleb's father was killed. All of a sudden, he's scurrying away. I'm going, that Scarecrow's fucking fast.
Well, remember in the first one, he was pretty Power Ranger-ish too.
Pretty spry, right? Pretty
Go
spry
Steve.
for a straw guy.
And I they bought a fourth mask.
They did. I think they were still using the one, but yeah, it seemed like maybe they borrowed a couple of others or something, or
Cleaned
made
it up
one more.
little.
Yeah, hard to tell, but yeah.
Oh, didn't you love it when the police officer came upon the electrified Scarecrow, took his pen out to poke his eye? Really? What the hell are you expecting?
Well, you know, everything dead, you got to poke in its eye.
Sure. That's the way you recover right there.
Yeah. This was definitely something that we did.
Well, I'm just glad that this is not a Scarecrow movie that right at the end you go, there's a possibility he will return. And now I know they made another one, but this left me like, thank God, my understanding is he's gone.
Yep.
You can leave it at that and not have to watch the third movie, so it's all good.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if not,
good.
I'll figure out how to work the bazooka.
Oh, wow. Dang. All right, Kevin, if you're listening, you're welcome. That we didn't make you watch this travesty.
Mm.
You thought
Exactly.
the one we watched for all the horror was the worst movie you'd ever seen. No, sir. I don't think so.
We set the bar even higher,
That's
or
because
lower.
you haven't seen this one yet.
Coming to a bar near you.
I don't have anything to add. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
I think Les said it all, man.
I'm looking at my notes, and I think you about covered it. Down to
Well,
the.
I hope I didn't take anything from anybody.
Don't know. You're fine.
Oh,
Absolutely.
The only thing I would have added that I actually wrote down in my notes was, God, I really wish it had been Caleb's story. You know, he talks about all he did. Like, I'd rather have seen that than the shit we're about to see. You know?
yeah.
I agree.
Well, most of them have like a revenge kind of motive, and I didn't get that from this. You know, it's just more of a, I want my girlfriend to play dolls with me.
Random, yeah, in real life. But yeah.
I mean, the only revenge would have been against Caleb, but yeah, everybody else was just pretty much, hey, you know,
You're here.
you're here. This
Let
will
me
work.
poke you in your eye.
You'll do.
You're just fodder.
Mm-hmm. Who needs character development? Everybody's going to die anyway.
And I think what else made this movie so hard to watch was all the flashing lights and the backwards talk and blah, 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 blah. It reminded me of like a bad Fire Walk with Me, the Twin Peaks movie.
Uh-huh.
So it was like, oh my god. I said I had to shut that off a lot because that was just kind of too much.
Right. If that's the best they could think of to do with their special effects budget, then no.
Yeah.
Just no.
And they really liked that wah 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 wah. The backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
And I had to look it up because I had to know. And yes, this was after Candyman, so it's just kind of like, wow.
He didn't need to do this. He apparently just thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
Or he needed the cash. I don't know which, but it hurt my feelings that Tony Todd was involved in this. It really did.
Too.
I agree.
And, yeah, like I said, he did a good crazy guy, but
But for this?
yeah, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Hatchet, so, you know. Because what was it in the first one, or was he the second one, or was he both? I can't remember.
I think he was in both.
I'm thinking he was in the second. I can't remember the first right now. Because the second one had Daniel Harris as well. So, he'll take the paycheck and do the job. I mean, that's what he wants to do. That's fine.
And you know, like we said before, I think sometimes these actors support like the indie works and that kind of thing for.
This one didn't need the support.
Yeah, not at all.
There are ones that actually deserve the support. This one didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all the people who are involved, but you know.
Yeah.
To think they made up another one.
They had enough material for a third. Which I will take y'all's word for that one.
Yep. Nope.
What?
Good.
What was it? What's the third one called? I don't remember right now.
Third one's called Why the Hell Did We Do It?
Yeah. Why are you still watching this?
Are you still here?
Where was it? I thought it was sitting here. Scarecrow Gone Wild. That's what it's called.
Like Girls Gone Wild?
So, yeah. So,
God, I
a lot
hope
of
so.
Yeah. So he pulls up his top. There you go. All right. Yeah. See,
She really
Scarecrow.
liked that.
Yeah, she is. Now she wants us to watch it.
I'm
See
not
him at
watching
Daytona.
this.
See him at Daytona Beach and
He flashes his hey.
flashes you and
Hey.
beer pong and all that kind of stuff.
Liz, you should feel bad for that joke. Damn.
And you know what? On that note, we're going to take a quick break.
Yes, please.
I think that may be the best way to get out of here. We'll be right back with Geek News for You. And we're back, and it's time for Geek News for You. In this segment, we bring a couple of news items to the table for discussion. And for this week, it is Les and myself. Les, would you please go first?
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out from DC Comics is a one-shot called New Golden Age. In this one, you have characters from the Justice Society and the Legion of Superheroes, plus some other DC people coming forward to be part of the DC universe. These were characters that were originally shown in Flashpoint Beyond. It makes me interested because first, this involves Rip Hunter. And I've always thought that Rip Hunter was a strong character for DC. But in this one shot, they are going to introduce the Golden Age Mr. Miracle, Betsy Ross, Molly Pitcher, Ladybug, the Golden Age Legionnaire, Quiz Kid, Salem the Witch Girl, Cherry Bomb, the Golden Age Aquaman, the Harlequin Son, John Henry Jr., Golden Age Red Lantern, and Judy Garrick. Now, some of these are characters that are just appearing, such as Judy Garrick. They state that there was no Judy Garrick, but in the Flashpoint series, she was introduced. Some of these I've heard of. I've heard of Molly Pitcher. I've heard of Salem the Witch Girl, the Harlequin Son. But what intrigues me about this is they're restocking their shelves, which I think is a great idea. The DC line has suffered recently with the removal of two of their big characters. But to read this article and see who is involved, to me, it's just fascinating as hell. The characters will be introduced in, like I say, I think it's Flashpoint Beyond number 6, which is the end of that series. And then they will start appearing in the New Golden Age, also in Justice Society of America number 1, Stargirl, The Lost Children number 1, to get them out there in front of people. And I think it's a real strong idea for DC to attempt.
Which is pretty cool.
Yep. It's cool that the idea that they can just bring out some obscure-ass characters that they haven't used in decades.
Yeah.
It's like a clean slate. I mean, it gives them a chance to build some interesting characters and see what they can do with them.
I hope so.
Yeah, it is interesting that some of these characters were actually introduced in the Silver Age, but they're, like you said, more or less kind of a blank slate, and so they can go back and do a retcon and say, well, they're actually back during the Golden Age, and even, I mean, the Golden Age Aquaman, that's a different character from the ones that we've known even from the last 10, 20, 30 years. So he can be handled different, and it's got some possibility. We'll see. I mean, it sounds interesting. The fact that Human Bomb's going to have a sidekick named Cherry Bomb is kind of that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure, because there as much as people really talk about, there was not that many sidekicks back then.
No.
Mm-hmm.
People make it sound like there was a bunch of them, but there really wasn't, or at least according to in the Marvel and DC books. Some of the other ones may have always had a sidekick or two, but Marvel only had Bucky and Toro.
True.
Those were the only sidekicks Marvel had back when they were timely in the 30s and 40s. Those were pretty much it. And in DC, you had, obviously you had Robin, Aqualad, Speedy with Green Arrow, and a few others, but I mean that was about it. So it wasn't as many as people would think. So we're adding to that, which it has possibilities. I'm optimistic about this.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
sounds good.
All right, for mine, this was actually, we had discussed it within the last couple of months or so, but so I always thought that this was a done deal, but apparently it is now a done deal. Paramount is actually going to do a new Naked Gun film. It's going to be directed by Atkeva Schaefer, and they are talking to Liam Neeson to play the lead role. But from the article I read, it's not going to be Frank Drebin, but it's going to be Frank Drebin's son. Frank Drebin, played by Leslie Nielsen in the Police Squad TV show and in the Naked Gun films. And this is going to be written by Dan Greger and Doug Mand, who wrote Chippendale Rescue Rangers film that came out within the last year.
Oh, the one that Liz loves so much?
The one I liked, yeah.
So
Cool.
we'll see.
Interesting.
Okay. This is a movie, not a series.
It is a movie. This is a movie.
That's pretty cool.
It's going to be cool to see how stupid his son is.
It's well, yeah.
I say that affectionately.
Yeah.
Right.
No. I'm not. That was not a reaction to what you were saying. I'm trying to think of how I want to say this. I love the Zuckerberg. I love Airplane. I love Police Squad and the Naked Gun films. I love all that. But I've seen some of what they've done in more recent years, and it just didn't seem as funny.
Yeah.
It's like
They've
those
tamed it down for the new audiences.
Well, I don't know if it's that, but it's like those jokes that seem to hit 20 or 30 years ago, or even 40 years in some cases. They don't hit now, or at least they didn't hit me.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of the same style, Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. That kind of stuff. It was funny back then, but that kind of stuff now. Well, we'll see how these guys handle it. I really hope they still do the whole thing of Liam playing everything deadpan, even though he's saying the most stupidest shit on earth. I think he can do it.
Oh, sure. He's a good enough actor.
He's a good actor. I think he can do it. I just hope what they have him say is going to be funny. That's my concern. The writing's always a concern.
Right.
Sure.
So once again, this has potential. This has potential as well. So
Yep.
We'll see. But hey, it's something in the 80s being remade again, Mikey.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes.
Yay.
At least it's something I liked.
Yeah. All right. Any special shout-outs or mentions this week?
Actually, I do want to mention something real quick.
Sure.
No.
What? Okay. I'm sorry.
I told you she had a dark side.
I know. Power's getting to her head here. I don't know. I don't know what power.
I was going to say,
But
do
anyway.
we have power?
No.
It's electricity.
My electricity's on. I mean, I don't know what that means, but anyway.
She put the pin on the eye hole of the scarecrow.
Yeah.
Poke his eye hole out.
Yeah.
Please don't bring that movie up anymore.
Amen.
Okay, I'm making a note. Make a Scarecrow Slayer comment next week. All right.
Next Halloween, we have Kevin on for Halloween.
I don't know if I want to do that to poor Kevin.
Would he expect anything less?
I hope not. Jesus, this is what he's probably going to get, but not that specific movie. But anyway, shout
Yes,
outs.
Yeah.
This is actually a shout out of the negative kind. News came down yesterday that G4, which came back last year, is dead again. It is in the process of being shut down as a network again.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't last long. Apparently Comcast decided that they weren't making enough money, so, which I didn't really think money was, I mean, I should have known better, but I wouldn't have thought money would be the thing there, but I guess it is, not surprisingly, with a massive corporation and all, but, yep, it's dead.
That's sad.
It is too early to know what any of the folks are going to do, but all gone again. I'd love to see it come back again, just to keep coming back and going away and coming back and going away. I think it would be cruel but fun to do that to it. But
Yeah. It sucks.
yep. I don't know. I thought they were doing all right, but I mean, obviously not financially. They weren't doing all right, but I thought otherwise. I thought content was doing fine. What do I know?
Yeah, I'm looking at something here. It sounds like. Well, let me just read this. It says the Washington Post also reported that high costs related to guest talent, including popular content creators that demanded upwards of $30,000 per day for appearances on the network, was likely a factor in Comcast Spectator's decision. Ouch.
That seems like a lot. Seems like people are asking a lot of what is essentially a budding network that's probably, well, I mean, clearly doesn't have a ton of money, because I mean, a lot of what they're doing, I mean, they're just basically broadcasting on Twitch there for a while.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean, they were starting to get some stuff going on with some of the providers, but not much.
Well, I mean, that is sad news. I mean, I'll admit I had not seen anything of the reboot, but G4 back in the day was a pretty good thing to watch on a daily basis.
Yep, it's pretty entertaining stuff sometimes. I mean, not everything, obviously, but
no, and they had good talent there that was likable and did a good job. So
Mm-hmm.
So that's not to mean anything regarding this new version. Like I said, I hadn't watched it, so I can't say anything one or the other.
A couple of them had come back. They had Sessler and what's his? Oh God, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name now. Kevin Pereira.
Yeah.
Both of them were working with it, and they pulled in a bunch of interesting young, fresh faces. And I mean, like I said, it seemed to be doing all right. I don't know. Apparently not.
I don't know either. Oh well.
Yep. Just worth noting, I thought.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had not heard that. So yeah. All right. Any others?
Nothing here.
No.
Okay, we'll go on to our regular shout-outs. I want to thank Pop Goes the Culture Podcast Network for allowing me to be a part of a great group of fellow podcasts. We recommend that you check them out. There will be a link in the show notes. We also want you to check out the fine men and women who make up Podern Family, who've been so kind as to spread the word of the fellowship by retweeting our links on Twitter. The best way to check them out is obviously go to Twitter and do a search, #Podern Family. Just scroll through the list, and whatever catches your attention, by all means, click on that link and download that episode. And we'll hope you have a great time checking them out. Thank you, folks, for your support as always. Want to thank Manny the Martyr for supplying the music to our podcast. There's a link in the show notes where you can check out their music. Thank you, guys. And finally, you, dear listener, thank you for downloading and listening to today's episode. We value your feedback. Any comments, questions, suggestions, complaints, observations, what have you, please send them our way. Our email address is email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net, or you can go to the website and go to the About Us page, and there's a contact form that you can fill out. I did not mention earlier, I don't think we did mention it, we do have a Discord that you are more than welcome to come in and join us there. We post a lot of news items, memes, conversation stuff, have some fun activities, that kind of thing. There is an open invite on the front page, the home page. But we do have a channel in our Discord for feedback, so you can post your comments there if you like that. Social media, we're on Facebook, The Fellowship of the Geeks. We're now on Instagram, @Fellowship Geeks. That also is our Twitter account name. Follow us on both platforms. If you like to follow our personal Twitter accounts, Mike can be found @MikeyGeek. Liz can be found @LN_geek. Les may or may not be found @FakeLesWebster. And I can be found @TomTCGeek. And from wherever you download our episodes, if you take a couple moments to rate and review the show, it would be greatly appreciated. Anything else before we say goodbye?
Just thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Appreciate you listening.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We appreciate your support as always. And until next time, geek on, my friends.
We thank you for listening to the show. Comments, suggestions, and questions can be sent to email@thefellowshipofthegeeks.net. You can follow us on Facebook @The Fellowship of the Geeks and on Twitter @Fellowship Geeks. Until next time,